The Joe and Laurie Dine Award is for Best International Reporting in any medium dealing with human rights. It is sponsored by Philip Dine. It goes to David Rohde and Charles Levinson of Reuters for a provocative series about the Guantanamo prison. Rohde's reporting broke new ground about the prevalence of torture in Guantanamo Bay and the CIA's sexual abuse of prisoners.
Thank you all so much for this. Charles and I were just whispering to each other about how much this means to both of us, how much it means to Reuters. It's just a thrill and an honor for both of us. But I'll be honest, this story sort of started out, frankly, as a real loser. What could you possibly write new about Guantanamo Bay 14 years after that facility had been opened? There was a sort of solidified narrative out there that, the hardworking Obama administration had done everything it could to close Guantanamo, had cracked down on CIA torture, and there was nothing more to report. To our amazement, editors at Reuters, Steve Adler, Mike Williams, Alex Friedman, and most of all, John Blanton, believed in Charles and I. They believed that there were new stories to be told. And together, we were able to discover that the sexual abuse and the sexual misconduct in CIA black sites went beyond what was revealed in the Senate torture report. We uncovered that the Obama administration's effort to reform Guantanamo Bay's military commissions have been an absolute failure, and the trials going on down there were a farce. And most importantly, in our last story, we found out that the problem wasn't only Republicans in Congress who were being blamed for the slow emptying of Guantanamo by the Obama administration. Instead, we found systematic delays through different bureaucratic tactics by the Pentagon. 4 Afghan detainees spent 4 additional years in Guantanamo after being cleared to release due to Pentagon slow rolling. 6 prisoners that should have been transferred to Uruguay, 5 to Kazakhstan, 1 to Mauritania, and 1 to Britain. Their departures after being cleared for release were delayed for months and years. And finally, we found out that a hunger striker who had refused to eat for 7 years, who weighed 74 pounds, had his departure from Guantanamo delayed for more than 6 months by Pentagon officials who refused to release his medical records to countries that wanted to take him. I thank my editors, again, our editors, for believing in us and believing in this story. I thank Charles's partner, Melissa, my wife, Kristen, who's here, my father, Harvey, my stepmother, Andrea. Again, we couldn't have done this without the support of these editors and these family members. And most of all, this should be a joint award. Charles and I, to be honest, are late coming to this incredible coverage that's been going on for more than a decade of Guantanamo. Carol Rosenberg of the Miami Herald's done amazing work. Charles Savage of the New York Times, Adam Goldman and Missy Ryan of the Washington Post, Spencer Ackerman of The Guardian, many reporters for the Wall Street Journal. Every news organization here has been part of this effort. So I accept this on behalf of Charles and Reuters, but all the amazing journalists that won't let the world forget Guantanamo. I spoke to 2 sources today, and the delays continue in terms of emptying Guantanamos. The problem continues tonight as we stand here. Thank you so much for this honor.